Mzansi, and a very warm welcome to you. It is a brand new week on Afternoon Express and one step closer to Christmas. But because I'm in the kitchen, I can never ride solo, honey. We have got our resident chef and foodie in the kitchen, Chef Dumza.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. I'm looking so forward to this time of the year because we get to cook and cook and cook.
Yes, and helping us to do exactly that, we have got our guest in the kitchen, Sebastian, or would you like us to still call you Chef Bass?
Just Bass, just go with Bass. We in the kitchen, it's chilled. It's so lucky to be here. Thanks.
Yeah, well, let's get cooking, Mzansi. It's all about Christmas dining this week, and today we're turning our attention to celebrating indoors on this Afternoon Express Masterclass with me, Balisa Tembe. Chef Dumi is joined in the kitchen by our show friends, Chef Clem Pedro and Sebastian Newman, and they're going to be whipping up a rainbow Christmas plate. We've also got a beef fillet stuffed with feta and green peppercorns, a pineapple and chipotle gammon, a classic Christmas roast chicken, and we're ending it off with Greek-style leg of lamb with tzatziki. Now, it is all about the meat. It is all about that protein here on Afternoon Express. So if you need the details to any of today's recipes, please head over to afternoonexpress.co.za. Now, let's be honest. Every mom dreams of a stress-free Christmas dinner. One with all the favorites, but with less time spent in the kitchen and much more time spent with family and friends. Now, Chef Bass is here to show us how to make a Christmas dinner in just under an hour. In fact, I want to kind of cut that time in half, Chef Bass, because a Christmas dinner needs to be full of goodness, so delicious and simple. I need it done in 30 minutes.
Got you.
You got me?
Got you.
Okay, well then, Dumi, lead us to the promised land. Girl.
Let's go to this promised land. Balisa, before we go too far, my friend, I'm going to ask you please to go into the fridge for me there, take out one of our baking dishes, because we're going to start with our Simply Chicken steaklets. Now, I've got them over here. If you can see, we're looking at the creamy garlic flavor. It comes in a couple of different flavors, and the reason why I always want to include it in my cooking is the fact that it uses real chicken breasts. It is simple and easy to cook. Like, for instance, these steaklets that I'm about to make now only go into the oven for 20 to 25 minutes at 200 degrees. You know there's no pork, you know there's no MSG, so you know you're feeding your family everything. But everything, the goodness included, the flavors, it's all in there. So let that baby go in the oven, do its thing. But we need other things to accompany it, right? So we've got the creamy spinach that I'm about to make. But I see you've already started, Chef. You started with that pumpkin.
So we need our sides to our dish. So that's doing the thing for us right there. So what we're going to do is a pumpkin, Pali. So I've already cut them into wedges. And then what we're going to do is just pop them into the tray. Nice roasting tray over there.
Okay.
And then we're going to make a basting for it. So we're going to do some olive oil, brown sugar. Oh.
So, Chef, as you are adding the brown sugar, I want to find out from you. I'm already seeing, in this time of year, you get different sizes of pumpkins and also different techniques when it comes to cutting the pumpkin. Sometimes I can't always get it even, you know, like an even kind of, this is the perfect example. All of mine look like this. How important is it to make sure that all the shape is consistent throughout?
So obviously, if you cut it the same size, it's going to cook evenly. Because if you've got one that's a little bit thinner than the other, that one's going to burn, and then the others are not fully cooked. So you want to make sure that it's cooked properly. Okay. So a little tip for you is the back of the knife, the heel of the knife. Use that because it's so hard. That part of the knife is going to help you cut it nicely and cut it, you know, better.
Wow, so also the angle matters. Okay, I've got that.
So we're just going to pour this over here.
So what else did you add to the base?
Some cinnamon, and then also a little bit of salt. And then we're just going to brush that on there.
Make sure that that is quite generously lathered on that pumpkin. And whilst you do so, we are fully in the festive season, Bass. And I just want to get like a sneak peek into your own household and how you grew up. I mean, is there anything about Christmas and this time of year that truly stands out for you?
So for my family, we're a family of foodies, right? So every celebration in our household is marked with food. So it's food and more food. So I am so excited because, hey, I'm a chef. I love to eat.
That's what it's all about. Now, I hope that this dish and all the dishes that we're going to be preparing today is going to kind of do the talking for you. But I can only imagine how lucky your mom feels, knowing that she's got a son out there who can help in the kitchen when it comes to preparing that Christmas dinner. So what will you be bringing to the table this Christmas?
Can I be very honest with you guys? I'm probably the laziest chef that you will ever find. So I bring me to the table. But also because I'm a pastry chef, my family really enjoys for me to make dessert. So I'll probably bring the dessert to the table.
Okay.
Well, this is delicious. That pumpkin, the spinach, I like to have everything in one bite. And it's so nutritious as well. The Simply Chicken is cooked to perfection, Dumi.
I love the fact that you're saying that because that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that everything that we put on a plate not only looks good, but it tastes good and is nutritious as well. So making the spinach that I've got over here, I've started off with sort of like a roux. I've got our butter, I've got some salt, some flour I've added in there. I've also added my beef stock that's got in there. But if you want to, you can add some veg stock, I've added that in there. And that's the base for my spinach, which is the creamy spinach that we're making. And into this, I just go in with some already blanched spinach. This helps with cutting down the cooking time. So it also maintains all those nutrients. As you can see, it's still nice and green and vibrant with that color. And then onto our plate goes our Simply Chicken steaklets. And the reason I love this is because we're using the creamy garlic flavor. So imagine
girl, yes, that's what it is. I literally was just waiting for you to finish your thought because I was going to say, what is that extreme? First of all, the creaminess. There's nothing dry about it. It's succulent, it is creamy, it is perfect. But that garlic flavor definitely comes through.
It definitely comes through, and that's what I love about it. It's a self-sourcing steaklet. You don't need anything in there. We've got the cream spinach, so the sweetness of the pumpkin. You've got the saltiness from the spinach coming in there. You've got that garlic from the chicken. I mean, everything in one plate.
I mean, the most that you had to do here was make the spinach. It's so simple. You put everything in the oven, that goes in the oven. Easy vibes.
Yes, okay, easy vibes. That's what it's all about. And it's so funny that you did say that you normally would bring desserts because that pumpkin, there was a sweetness to it that was just so delicious. Now, Christmas meals doesn't need to be complicated. Let's keep dinner time simple with Simply Chicken. Get your hands on this delicious recipe. Simply visit afternoonexpress.co.za. Now, Dumi earlier did the singing, and I will not sing this for you, Mzansi, because trust me, I don't want to trend for the wrong reasons. Can I get an amen? Amen? But this is the question that we have for you on social media. On the 11th day of Christmas, Afternoon Express gave me some awesome tips on Christmas dining. So we want to know from you, Mzansi, are you big on decorating your Christmas table, or is it all about the food? Make sure you use that hashtag Afternoon Express in all of your comments. Bass, Dumi, think about your answers.
Got you.
And then later I'll be finding out, okay?
Awesome.
Now, it's all about a meaty Christmas affair for us today. So coming up, we're sharing our decadent beef fillet stuffed with feta and green pepper recipe. And later, we're going to be showing you how to decorate the Christmas table.
Challenge the expected with AEG this festive season. Stand a chance to win your share of 100,000 Rand with AEG on Expresso so you can impress in the kitchen.
So that's 10 of 10,000 Rand to 10 very fortunate winners.
To enter, go onto Twitter or Expresso's Facebook page and comment on the AEG post telling us how you will plan to change up the celebrations this holiday season with hashtag AEG Festive Flavor.
And we could be calling you live on Expresso to announce your 10,000 Rand winnings.
So elevate the everyday in your home with AEG this holiday season.
welcome back to Afternoon Express, where we are back with our guest chef, a pastry chef, mind you, Chef Bass.
How's it going, Belly? So we're keeping it meaty in the kitchen today.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Me too.
I'm very excited about it. Now, beef fillet stuffed with feta and green peppercorns. Yes, you heard me right.
Yes.
It is wonderfully extravagant, showstopper. The pop of the green peppercorns, clover feta, and garlic create a flavor-packed tender meal. Now, chefs, show us exactly how.
Cool. I'm going to start with the beef fillet. So what we're going to do is we're going to open it up. Because Tumi's going to make us a beautiful filling or stuffing to go in there. So I'm just going to open out on this side. So you just cut along the edge there.
So today we're doing it a little different. I can see that you're already using that entire fillet. You're not already...
We're not going to use it in portions. We're going to use the entire thing, stuff it nicely, wrap it up, sear it off, and then pop it in the oven.
Okay.
It's going to be absolutely delicious. And then what we're going to do is just open this up. So open that up nicely. You don't need to be too precise with it, you know?
Can't be too delicate.
Festive season, we need to do what we need to do. So just tenderize it and flatten it just a little bit. You can pop a bit of cling wrap over here if you want, but you know what? It's festive season.
You want to go in, and also not only are we focusing, Dumi, on meaty meals today, but you're promising to do it in like as minimal time as possible.
As minimal time and with the most elite class. You know, we're taking it to another level. It's the festive, guys. We've had a lot. The last 2 years have been hectic. All we want to do is celebrate this festive. Get the moments with your family. Get a moment with the people you love. Cook something that you know, something from the heart. You know, and that's why we're talking about eliteness here. And that's why we'll be using our clover feta in this recipe. It brings elite texture, elite taste. It's also because it's made with that clover 5-step process. So that makes it so perfect for this recipe. And because of that, it is already salted enough, so you don't need to worry about adding any additional ingredients to it or any saltiness. It's already seasoned as it is. So we've got our feta in here that I'm crumbling up here into my bowl. And into this, I'm going in with some thyme, and then I'm going in with some brined peppercorns, green peppercorns, and some garlic. So the reason for that is because we're not adding any other additional flavor. Remember I mentioned the feta.
Yes.
We're not going to put too much seasoning because the flavor is going to come from the inside out.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what I'm seeing on Bass's station. You've literally only got onions,
tomatoes. So keeping it super simple. The stuffing is going to speak for us. The meat is going to speak for us. So it's easy dining.
How important is keeping the integrity of your protein? And today we're using a beef fillet. Is that like of utmost importance to you? Because I know a lot of households, especially in Durban, we add as many flavors and spices and.
So the thing is, Bali, if you buy a really good quality of meat and you cook it properly, it's going to give you the flavor already. So you don't want to add too much and cover that flavor. So keep it simple and don't give yourself more work.
I got you. Okay, all these tips and tricks are definitely being soaked into the mental. Duma, you promised us green peppercorns.
Yes, so green peppercorns, all that is in essence is just peppercorns that have been brined in some salt and vinegar water, and then it sits there, it absorbs all that moisture, so it actually ends up being somewhat more, it has moisture in it instead of the dry peppercorns that we normally have. So that would impart flavor into the fillet we've got over there. So those flavors together with the sweetness that'll come from the tomatoes and the sweetness that'll come from the onion make this dish one that you can definitely impress with over this festive season.
Well, it looks incredible. I love that pop of color as well. As much as the peppercorns are very, very, very tiny, you can still see them coming through. And we went with a plain flavor, Greek-style yolk feta cheese. But if I were to play more, just adding a little bit more flavor, maybe a black pepper feta
definitely even the herb flavor could work.
I was just about to say.
Yeah, I mean, I've added the thyme into this recipe here for the herbs, but if you want to, you can even use the feta that has the herbs in there. If you want additional flavors, you could even use like roasted red peppers, put them inside there. Just play with the flavor. The whole idea is we're giving you a base and we're saying with you, get creative. Add those flavors in there, but you definitely need that elite flavor from the feta cheese.
And I also suppose it's very important to also make sure that you don't overdo it still, because as much as Bass has already mentioned that it's very, very important to kind of keep it as simple as possible. So let's have a taste.
Let us know, because I've already seen the pinkness of it. I saw the fillet was nice and pink, and I guess, Bass, you'll explain that to us, how to get it to that nice texture. But I think I'd like you to just take us through what you're doing right now.
Yeah, I was just about to say. So what I did was take Tumi's amazing stuffing that she made for us. So just popped it in the middle, folded my fillet back over, and then I've just tied with some string. at about 5 centimeter intervals. And what you could also do is just take foil and wrap this whole thing in some foil.
Yeah.
And then just make sure that you grease your foil, obviously.
Okay.
And then what I'm going to do is just pop this whole baby
Right on there.
on there.
That's sizzle
And
sizzle.
we're going to sear it just for a little bit, sear each side nicely. And then we're going to pop it onto our baking tray over there with some tomatoes, some onion, and
Do
then
you
we're
want to
going
pass
to pop
those
it.
to me? Let me get those ready so that when
Awesome.
we put the fillet that
Pop
it's
that
stuck.
in the oven.
So
and
then how important is it, or is timing? Because beef is so sensitive. I can only imagine that you need to truly have your eye on it.
100%. So you're just going to sear it very, very quickly just to get the nice grill marks on there. Pop it in the oven.
Okay.
And then, depending on the
How you like it.
it, medium, if you want it rare, depends on how long you're going to cook it for.
Perfect. Well, we're one step closer to making sure that our Christmas dish is just done to perfection. And if you want to try this recipe, head over to afternoonexpress.co.za.
Cheese is for those who love life, where everything falls into place and melts away our cares, adding joy and stretching our imagination. Elite quality, elite taste, elite texture.
Made with love by Clover.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it seems as if we're going to need a little bit of a timeout. Things are definitely getting hot in the Afternoon Express kitchen. So we are just going to let Bass have a little bit of a seat, take off the apron, have a little bit of a break, because we're going to be catching up with Chef Clem Pedro, as we're going to be making, if you can hear him, Zanti, very excited about this recipe, a pineapple chipotle gammon.
These 10 contestants have made it to the finale of Color Your Plate with Koo.
JP,
Nadia!
Zandile, Tepi, Abida.
Nolly! It's Bubbles! Megan!
Tune in this Wednesday to find out who will be Mzansi's next cooking star and walk away with more than 50,000 Rand in prizes.
Afternoon Express, and welcome back by popular demand, baby.
I'm so happy every time I come back into the kitchen. I kind of feel like I don't even want to be professional. I just want to say things and do things.
Well, please don't.
Oh.
Because we have to give South Africa the tips and tricks that they need to truly deck out their Christmas tables this year.
Right.
So let's get into it. Whether you want to cook it from scratch or slice and serve, Woolies has you covered this festive season. Today, Chef Clem is going to show us how to make a chipotle and pineapple gammon from scratch. Ooh, I'm already sweating bullets.
Okay, but why? Why? How many gammons have you cooked in your lifetime?
0.
Okay, today is the education, okay? It is so simple. So this start off from scratch means uncooked. But Woolies also have a selection of the cooked gammons, so you just have to like glaze it yourself and slice it and you're good to go. They even have the, here we go, right here, the sliced gammon.
See, that's me. That's the one I'm definitely going to be buying.
So we're catering for everyone, especially now because they deal tomorrow. If you're a Woolies Rewards member, buy any 2, get 25% off. Non-rewards members get 20% off. Do you have a rewards card?
I do have, of course I've got my Woolies rewards card.
25% off for you. You know what? Just have it.
I'm lining up tomorrow.
We're gonna use the one from scratch, which is uncooked, but it's already been smoked for you. Let's think about gammon. Gammon is smoky, it has to be. Okay, cold water goes into your pot. Okay?
I see that your pot is cold too.
Yes, alles cold, everything cold. The reason why, if you're gonna start off with hot water, you're gonna start cooking your gammon from the outside too quickly, the inside not so much. So start off with cold water so everything comes together gradually.
Okay? I don't want to call out that Gogo and that auntie back at home, but you heard that? We don't want no chewy, uncooked middle of the gammon this year.
Even if you have chewy, dry gammon, there's things you can do with it afterwards to make it delicious, like a delicious mac and cheese with gammon. I mean, hey.
A little gammon croquette.
Oh. Excuse me, can I get an apron? Can I get an apron for Pali? Chef Pali has just, that's a nice one, I like that. Okay.
No, you help me level up in the kitchen, and that's exactly what you and Woolies are doing this festive season. When it's festive season, we have to have Chef Clem.
You know, absolutely. Okay, in here went onions, carrots, celery, bay leaves. If you're using onions in your kitchen at any time, bay leaves go with it. They're best friends.
I do love a good onion.
Right?
But I've never tried it with bay leaves. Yeah, believe it or not. I love that tip. And then in goes the smoked gammon.
So get your mom's biggest pot, okay? Get your big gammon in there and cover it with enough water to just cover everything that's going on inside that pot, okay? Here's the rule. For every 1 kilogram of gammon that it weighs, you can cook it for an hour. So that means for every 500 grams, half an hour, okay? Cook it, okay? Then, as soon as it comes out of that water, you let it cool down. And the thing is, I cook it with a net on, just to keep it together.
I love that.
As soon as it comes out and you can handle it without burning, you take the skin off. The skin. Ooh. This is the skin. Though very important. People end up taking off the fat cap as well. The fat cap sits underneath the skin. You want to keep as much of that fat cap on there as possible.
Yeah, I definitely see the difference between.
Yes, let me turn it for the people. What I do is I took a sharp knife and I just scored the fat into little diamond shapes, then went to the oven. You want to start rendering out the fat. And that sounds like, what?
Yeah.
Rendering out the fat is, I like the way she says,
I'm just like, I'm listening. I'm like, tell me more. There's so much pressure working on a cooking show at home. Every December, everyone's looking at me like, Patty, what did you learn this year? So I'm listening.
We're gonna quiz you. Okay, so take a sharp knife, score the fat. It goes into the oven at 180 degrees. You start letting all that fat that's in the fat cap start coming out, okay? At the same time, you're gonna start getting these little grooves. You're gonna see that?
I do see that.
Which is what you want, because we're gonna make our delicious Chipotle glaze.
And I'm also sure that as that fat renders down and goes into the actual meat, it just keeps that moisture, it keeps it succulent, so that by the time you slice that bad boy open, honey. Yes! That is the yumminess I'm looking forward to.
You want to really impress your guests, you take that gammon fat that renders out and you fry your potatoes in it.
Yes!
Because just do it. Okay. So I've got to speed up now. So, Chipotle is amazing, okay? These are Chipotles in adobo sauce. Have you ever had it?
No. So I only know Chipotle from like restaurant flavors. It's always like in Mexican food, right?
Pali be traveling. She's been in America lately. She's been having some Chipotle.
Okay, so what is Chipotle exactly and what flavors can we expect?
Chipotle is a smoked jalapeno, okay? Then adobo sauce has all those amazing spices in there. It is, okay, I'm gonna let you taste it. I'm gonna warn you. Trigger warning.
No, I got you. Not double.
It is spicy. It is spicy.
I still have to talk after this, Clem.
But you were like, I'm from Durban. I can handle all the spice.
I mean, what are you doing to me?
I gave you a trigger warning.
But no, I also have to explain this, Mzansi, as he does continue to add the layers of that Chipotle sauce coming together. afterwards, it's actually quite a refreshing taste.
And we're going to tone it down even more. So we're going to go in with the pineapple juice. I've got pineapple rings, and I like this fact that this is quite retro with the pineapple rings and the cherries on it. Okay, so I can save that syrup, because what do you do with that syrup? You know, it's weird. So we're going to use it in the actual glaze. You try that. Try that.
Okay.
Tell the people. Okay, spring onions go in there, and then we're going to blend it.
Okay.
What?
All right.
Can I ask you to blend for me quickly? Here we go. You
Put
do
me
that.
to work. This is delicious. I give it a 10 out of 10, Zanzi.
Nice.
The flavors are very overwhelming, though, so this is not for people who like mild or, you know, no flavor. This is for the spicy ones.
Mild is so 2020. What?
This is for the spicy ones, let me tell you
Okay,
something.
so it is spicy. So here's what you do is you can actually decide how many chilies you're going to add to the mixture.
Okay.
And the thing is, once you cook it, that intense heat disappears and you get a nice, you get a hum. You don't get a ha. You get a...
It's this is good.
Okay, cool. I got this one.
Oh, you got
so
that
you make
one?
sure it's nice and thick. You can even add some of the pineapples to it. That's what I do to thicken it up slightly. Then, remember we rendered out all that fat and we got all those nice little crevices going on there. They're going to hold the sauce, okay? So we're going to go on with our beautiful chipotle and pineapple glaze. Now, this sauce is amazing on chicken. It is so good on lamb. On beef, it is magical. I just love the way when I talk, Pele goes,
But also, I can
it's like you're looking
agree
into
with
my
you.
soul, like you get
Absolutely.
me.
And what you are saying makes so much sense because the flavors that do come from this chipotle sauce are so versatile. I really can add it to almost any meal.
Any meal.
So jar that bad boy up and you can enjoy it at another time.
So
and I love the fact that you added it with the gammon. It's so beautiful. The sweetness also.
The
Yeah, I
sweetness.
can taste that too.
So you know, like when you make a tomato-based sauce like a curry, or you make like certain stews that have a lot of spices, they taste better the next day.
Yeah.
The thing about gammons is you make a gammon intentionally to have it for the next 3 days. That sauce just mellows out even more and tastes better the second day, the third day. It just tastes absolutely amazing. So I like you got your skewers there.
Yeah,
this is my little throwback to being retro. I love those little gammons that have the pineapple, the cherries on them.
Take me back, honey, to the 70s.
But it's not even just for decoration, because the pineapple again on top of there. We've got the flavor inside the glaze, but it's going to be on top as well, nice and fresh. We've got the cherries on there. This is going to come out so delicious.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
10 out of 10.
Make 3, because you're going to want to have this for the whole festive season. Chipotle.
And get to Woolies tomorrow in
Get that
store,
deal.
honey. Get that deal. And if you want to get your hands on this recipe, please do visit woolworths.co.za. And just like that, this is what it is all about. I just get all the feels when I see a table decked out like this, and Clem is about to show us exactly how. Now, this festive season is all about celebrating moments that matter with friends and family. Of course, that includes food, but for us, it's all about the festive table. Chef Clem Pedro is busy working his magic, transforming our dining table into a Christmas wonderland. And boy, my brother, have you done a good job. Don't you agree to me?
I definitely agree. I think the first thing that caught my eye has got to be something that every woman loves, gold.
Right? Right? And it's not just women, everybody.
Yeah.
And I'd like to just mention the color, because when it comes to setting your festive table or even your Christmas tree, I mean, I accept those people that go for all the colors of the rainbow. But there's something so chic and stylish about picking a color theme. So we've gone for green and gold, which again, it's classic. And you'll notice the color trends change every year, but the one trend that does not change is gold.
Yeah.
So you're going to invest in pieces now they'll be able to use for a long time. Next year, you can swap out the green, make it white. The following year, make it black, because black and gold on a Christmas table, amazing.
Actually, one of the followers that I do keep my eye on social media, she actually did a full black tree with feathers and that gold. But today, here on our table, we're keeping it green and gold.
Keep it green and gold.
Reminiscent of South Africa.
Okay, so I've got these beautiful placemats at the bottom, because I like adding a little bit of a natural element to your table. And again, after the festive season, these aren't like too Christmassy. They're like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do with it now? These are great, and they're so on trend right now. You'll be using them for such a long time. I'm going with classic white, just because it's the festive season, you know? The plates are just classic white, because the food is gonna be like the center of that and show off the plates. Also, my cutlery, I've gone pretty plain, but guys, polish your cutlery. Make sure they are blinging.
Louder for the people in the back.
Polish
Louder.
your Cutlery! Okay,
Very, very
do that. And it's so important because it also shows that you've made so much effort. Then, the center of your table, it's very important that you highlight that as well. Keep space for the platters. So we're going to put platters around there. I've got a bit of space here in the middle, but I've accented the little space in the middle with a bit of the greenery that I've got on the table. Another thing,
You
talk
can
to me,
also
talk
move
to me.
the ornaments, I
Yeah, I
suppose.
want to focus on something as well. You're about to touch on it, but then the one thing I've noticed when it comes to centerpieces and stuff is height. How important is that in terms of color, height?
Totally, totally important. You don't want to block your eye line too much that you can't see the person across you. So this is a beautiful round table, which means you can play around with it a little more. We've got a little bit of height over here, but it's a nice slim Christmas tree. And what I also like, once you do start bringing the food out, when your guests walk in, have it in the middle, okay? Have the Christmas tree in the middle. But as soon as everyone starts sitting down, you place it around the, like, you're like on the sideboard, you know, just to
so
create
it
more
doesn't go to
atmosphere.
waste.
It does not go. Polly, there's one thing I always do for you. I give you joy. I give you joy.
Down in
Let me
my
get some
heart.
lights, guys. Lights are absolutely a must this festive season. Add as many lights as you want to your table, because remember, you're not going to be overwhelmed because the plates are going to come down on the table as well.
The drama of it all.
The drama.
I love this.
Baubles are not just for your Christmas tree. Add them to your table, okay? Another great one because it doesn't take up too much space, too much height. They just kind of create that accent.
And
okay?
especially if you're going to be entertaining at night, you've mentioned something about the lights. That also takes in that energy, that light, you know, it basically keeps that flavor going throughout the
Keep
day
it going.
and the night.
Even during the day, put your lights on. Last thing, the crackers. They're not just for popping. They make the most amazing centerpiece, like placeholders.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, a little Tumi over there on the name, so you're never going to have to try to find where you're actually going to be sitting.
Yeah.
Also good if you don't want to be sitting next to someone.
And
Then you
also-
can you swap. You swap.
And that is so much better than, you know, the no offense, no one take offense now, but we keep it real here on Afternoon Express. There's nothing tackier than just those white little, you know, those triangles with Bali, Clem, Tumi. What a way to spice up the table by
Absolutely.
putting the name tags on your cracker.
Then, final thing, candles. Never go out of style, never go out of trend. Have a little bit of like the flame on the table as well. Make sure it's not anything that's gonna burn. This is a scented candle, beautiful vanilla floating through your table. Vanilla's good because it's a food scent,
Yep.
so you can pair it with your food. Guys, Christmas. Christmas.
You did it again! Bravo, bravo. Again, Clem, you came with the food. You came to what we put the food on, which is a very, very decorative kitchen.
What more can I do?
You nailed it. Do me?
No,
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I'm definitely taking the tips because one thing that's very important here is you want to create the feel of the festive. And like you said, don't stick to the typical red, green.
No.
Take it up a notch and give it some flavor.
Love that. Now, what a beautiful festive table. I cannot wait for us to be back a little bit later to enjoy our food. But for now, let's get back into the kitchen. Remember, you can all shop these Christmas decor items and more, so much more, at Woolworths, available rather in-store and online and on the app. But after the break, we're going to be asking Chef Bass to come back because we've got a few more recipes with him too.
Protect what matters and get a quote for a life insurance plan that suits your needs and stand a chance to win one of 8 Samsung Galaxy S21 phones plus 100 gigs of Standard Bank mobile data for a year. To enter, SMS the keyword LIFE to 31492 to get a callback and a quote. It can be. You could be a winner.
Welcome back to the show. And not only are we welcoming you back, Mzansi, but Bas, do you feel like you've, in Zulu you'd say, you relaxed a little?
I've had a liquor chill there, cup of coffee, I'm ready.
Now you're ready for round
ready,
2.
ready.
Or rather round 3. Make it better. Now we're all about breaking the conventional and trying something new when it comes to special occasions. But sometimes classic dishes are the best option on Christmas Day, especially with something that Mom has perfected and served as a tradition throughout the years. Now nothing beats the aroma of Christmas dinner lingering. And today we'll be showing you how to make the perfect roast chicken, which is as hearty as many Christmas tables and will be on many Christmas spreads throughout the country.
Very simple, very easy, but so much flavor and also so easy to prepare. But the one thing I love about this recipe especially is the fact that it's not a typical roast chicken. It's got stuffing, apagati. You know, we're putting flavor in there, which is what festive is about. We want to go not just the outside in. You know, it gives you a chance to create memories with your family. It gives you a chance to do something new with the people you love. And just like everything else, it starts with a beautiful scoop. I think also I might be very, very frugal. I have to add a bit more. A very nice spooning of our rama, because what I'm doing is I'm making the filling here, or the stuffing. It starts off with some of our rama that I'm going to melt up there. And then into there, I'm going with a bit of bacon. We're going to let these babies fry down for a bit. And once they're fried, I'll add our onions, which will add that sweetness, and then our breadcrumbs and bind it all together.
Okay, I got you. And now, Bas, when it does come to the festive season, you already told us some of the traditions and what you expect when you do go back home. But this year, things are a little different, and we haven't been able to spend as much time with our loved ones as we normally do. So what are the specific traditions that we've experienced in the Bas household that we're gonna maybe can expect this year?
Well, my family, like I said before, every occasion is marked with food and more food. So around Christmas time, usually, pre all of the things that we've been going through, it would be all of the family around the table laughing till your tears are running down your face. Food, and then, like, they call it the Christmas bed. You know, the Christmas bed. You just put the mattresses there in the lounge and everybody just lays, and then the dessert table comes out. So I'm sure we'll still keep some of those traditions with our intimate family, but definitely the food is there.
It's still number one.
It's there.
And Dumi, you know, speaking about the food being number one and right up there, planning a Christmas menu is something that can be somewhat of a daunting task. And I know you at home, you're always helping out umama. So when it comes to the sides and the mains, what types of sides can we expect you having to tick off on that Christmas menu?
You know, the one thing I've also enjoyed is that over the years, I used to watch my mom cook. I used to watch the elders in the family make the food. Now being able to be part of the dishes, like most times I'd have to expect Uti Mama will come up with this recipe. Now it's down to our generation now. We are the people. We've taken the baton and now we're carrying it. Now we're making the dishes. So it's, I think our generation now is trying to figure out, so who's making what? Because we need to, you know, make sure we keep that standard, because we're also creating memories for the generations that come after us, for Abokutlokwa, you know, and my niece, Oratilo. We want to make sure that this is something that they can also look back on years from now and say, I remember my aunt making that potato salad, a fage rama there, you know, and making that stuffing that we're making now that has rama, just because it adds such, you know, decadence to any dish. And I love the fact that because of its multiple uses, you could use it like we're doing now in a stuffing, or actually what you're doing, Bas. I don't know if you want to just explain what you're doing.
I'll take you guys through it. So what we did was we made a nice herb drama over here with some red onion, some herbs, and of course our beautiful drama over there. And then what I've done is just take the back of a spoon and push it under the skin, just gently, because you don't want to break the skin.
Yes.
Yeah? And just on top of the chicken's breast. And then what you do is just take your herb drama and pop it under there. And then what you could also do is just grab a brush. What I'm going to do is just pop it in here, Pali.
On the tray.
We can do this. And then also I took that beautiful stuffing that Tumi made over there, popped it on the inside. And then what we can also do is just take some more of this herb drama
and put it on top.
Brush it over.
And I can definitely see the crevice of this chicken is definitely bursting with Tumi stuffing, which makes sure that it's goodness on the inside, goodness on the outside. And as we do just keep reflecting on different memories with our families and friends during the festive season, I don't know if anyone else can relate, but having scones. Scones, you know, like when you order the scones literally
Like
in the
20
bucket, in the bucket fill.
Yeah.
Because you know they're going to be those guests that come in, the loved ones, or also that late night snacking that I used to do. But before I enjoy my scone, I would slice it open. I would spread on a very generous layer of rama, put it in the oven or in the microwave just for a little burst, and then enjoy. And as we are speaking about putting things in ovens and microwaves, how long does that bird go in for?
This baby is going into the oven for 90 minutes. Basted as you go throughout the cooking time, just to get that nice soft skin. But it goes into the oven for 90 minutes and then comes out nice and golden brown.
Stunning. Now, we have absolutely loved our journey with Rama, reminiscing over family memories. These few past weeks, we have hoped that we have also inspired you to create new memories with your loved ones. Now, if you would like to taste the love with this delicious recipe, please do visit afternoonexpress.co.za. Now, we have one more Rama grocery voucher to the value of 800 Rand to give away, and one more lucky viewer who will walk away as the winner. Now, to stand a chance of winning this week's final competition, tell us about your family's Christmas traditions on the Afternoon Show Facebook and Twitter pages with the hashtag Rama Taste the Love. This week's competition closes at midday on Monday, the 20th of December. And remember, every person who has entered these weekly competitions with Rama will go into the final draw for an amazing grand prize, a 5,000 Rand travel voucher, so that you can spend Christmas with your loved ones whenever in SA they may be. When we have to be safe as we do so, remember we are still in a pandemic. T's and C's do apply to both of these giveaways and can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za.
Wherever food is made with love, you'll find Rama. Taste the love.
Now, earlier we were decking out our table with Chef Clem, and now we're just continuing to add the food on that beautiful table, which leads me to our social media question. On the 11th day, till Christmas, hashtag Afternoon Express gave me some awesome tips on Christmas dining. Now we want to know from you, what are they big on? What is Mzansi big on? Are you big on the decorating of your table, or are you big on the food? Now, Tumi, for yourself?
It has to be the food. I love the decorations, and I see people competing, but for me, it has to be the food. I don't know why.
I mean, Bass also agreed. You said it's all about the food, honey.
We decorate the table with
the food.
I love that. But you know what? This is a viewer that is a little too much like me. We have got Chetty Rose, and Chetty Rose says, love decorating as it's only once a year. I look forward to it as it brings out the Christmas feeling. Girl, I could not agree with you more. That's exactly how I feel. I feel like Christmas comes around once a year and we eat every day. We're always celebrating with food. So we already know that it's all about the decorations for me. So shout out to you, girl. Let's read one more though. We have got one here from Caitlin. And Caitlin says, hashtag Afternoon Express, it's all about the food. So Caitlin agrees with you.
Definitely, I understand with her, but I have to say, maybe if you and Chetty come to my house, you can help with the deco and I do the food and we just,
Okay.
Well,
fair is fair. We see you, Caitlin. We see you, Rose Chetty. Let's keep the conversation going online and we'll find out from Chef Clem what his feelings are shortly. Yes, I did. That's what I want. That's what I want.
That's what I want.
No, that's.
Cut.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express, where we are keeping things tasty today. And no, I'm not just talking about our beautiful guests, but we're also keeping it super tasty on your Christmas dining table. Now, when it comes to roasted leg of lamb, we tend to stick to the, tried and trusted recipes. But today, we want you to join us on a virtual trip to Greece, because we're serving up a succulent, fall-off-the-bone Greek-style leg of lamb with Clover Classic Dairy Snack tzatziki. Chef Bass.
Are you ready for the show?
You've been doing incredibly well this entire show, so we might as well end it on a high note.
It's a showstopper, right? So what we were saying is we want to do easy dining. We don't want to be slaving away in the kitchen, right? So I'm going to show you just how easy this is. So we've got our leg of lamb over here, and all I'm going to do is make little tiny incisions all over the top of my leg of lamb. And then into that, I'm going to take some garlic, pop it in there. So just push it in. If it goes in.
Yeah. So I suppose it is quite important, the kind of incisions that you create in your leg of lamb. Basically something that is very easy to just pop that garlic in. And just popping that garlic in there and not just on the leg of lamb.
It's going to infuse that flavour into the meat. You're going to get that extra garlicky, goodness in there. But okay, cool. So we've got our garlic inside. Then just a little bit of oil over there, just drizzled. Over the top, and then I've got some salt.
That regular seasoning that we can experience.
Pepper. And then we got some mustard powder over here. Just gonna go so nice with the lamb. And then some rosemary. And we're gonna pop it on there. And one thing that I forgot to tell you at the end, the beginning, probably, is that what we did beforehand is we just patted our leg of lamb dry with some vinegar.
Okay.
And the reason we do that is because sometimes the butcher's sauce, it's not the cleanest, right? So that just takes away all the extra bone shavings. So, you know, you've got a leg of lamb.
Stunning. Okay, so we have to remember that vinegar. And also, all of these flavors are just very, very reminiscent of Greek flavors and Greek-style food. Dumi, on your side, you're also taking care of something that is very, very Greek, honey.
Yes.
That's tzatziki.
I needed to make sure that I keep with the theme, because we want to make sure that as you're eating the lamb, you still reminisce about where you could be right now. Yes, a lot of us are stuck in SA, but you could be elsewhere, so at least your palate can go there. So to start off, what I've got here is I've got some cucumber that I grated. The reason for the grating is just to make sure that it's easier to maneuver and easy to work with, but also so that it makes our tzatziki stand out with that cucumber flavor. You can chop it up if you like, but I like it nice and grated. I've drained it through a sieve and I've put it here so that we get that liquid out. But any tzatziki for me is important. It is very important to make sure you've got that creaminess of a dairy snack like we're using today. I'm using our Clover Classic Dairy Snack, the plain flavor. What I want to do here is I'm going to add a couple spoonfuls into my tzatziki. This is the base for it. So we've got the Clover Classic Dairy Snack. We've got the cucumber that I've put in there that I've grated. I'm also going to go in with some of the other flavors. And like I keep saying, it's made with Clover's unique recipe. So you make sure to know that what you're getting is perfect for the ingredient, for the dish that you're making. In there, I'm popping in some lemon juice that I'm going to juice up there. And then as with any tzatziki, we've got some mint that I'm going to nicely chop up, as well as some garlic as well that I'm shaving into this. And if you don't feel like this is Greek, then I don't really know what you want, because for me now this is a dish to compete with, you know.
There's something spicy. Is it the mustard?
It definitely is the mustard. So imagine that.
Outstanding.
And cooling it down with this tzatziki.
So listen, honey, the tzatziki was the first thing in my mouth. I just guzzled that down. It was delicious, refreshing, everything that you promised in a tzatziki. And also what's quite nice, it balances out the flavor and the heaviness that the lamb kind of brings also to the table.
And lamb and tzatziki is a classic combo in a nice wrap. So Perfect.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like me and a bucket loads of money. Perfect combination. The only thing was I don't have that money. But
I
for
guess,
now.
Santa, I hope that you heard Dumi's wish. And if people wish to try this at home, how long does it go into the oven for? And what's the cooking temperature?
So if you don't have a meat thermometer at home, a simple rule of thumb is for every 500 grams, 20 minutes. And we're going to leave it there. We're not going to do the maths because we shine in other areas.
I love that. Okay, well, South Africa, if you want to shine in the kitchen, head over to afternoonexpress.co.za for this recipe.
So, we've had classic fashion from Timby, classic cars, thanks Chad, and we've seen classic hairstyles. And you, Michael? Classic.
A classic range from Clover. Timeless taste.
Made with love by Clover.
Hi, you know there's only chaos when we've got Chef Clem back with us at the table.
Don't tell the people they didn't see what happened.
Oh, well, I'm about to expose, but not only am I exposing you, I'm also exposing the beautiful recipes and food that we have here in the loft. Do me a quick recap. What did we make?
My mouth is already full just from trying to say this. We started off with our simple recipe that we made with our chicken schnitzels, our chicken steaklets over there. We then went over to our beef fillet. We then moved over to our shigini over there, the gammon over here. We basically made what Christmas is about, what the festive is, and it's all here on one table.
Well, let us dive in. But before we do so, gentlemen, feed yourselves. It's all good. I've got a general knowledge question for you. We've got a quick quiz question. It's for you to answer, and the winner, we'll just say, takes home all the food. Is that safe?
I didn't work this hard to not take home some of this food.
Okay, well, Kat, you has first pickings on the food. And this is the question. Which country did eggnog come from? Is it A, South Africa, B, England, or C, Canada? Dumi, this is only for our guests. Bass, you're already quick on the hand.
I'm going to go. I'm going to try. Kim, you can.
No, you got this. You got this. You got this. You got this.
I'm here with Canada.
Is it Canada? Yay!
For the drankies for you. Okay, for the drankies. Nice.
Absolutely. Eggnog has, or rather did originate from Canada. Dumi, was that your answer?
England.
England.
Is it not England?
No, but it's quite nice, though, and I feel like it's an appropriate drink. It's obviously the egg like a custard, but like it's whipped. A little bit.
Technicalize the question.
Okay, wait, let's actually hear from
no, it was Canada.
Canada.
It was Canada.
Was it Canada?
Yes.
Hey, you said I was right.
I didn't make it, but they put a little bit of a dranky drink in that egg, you know, and it just makes the day so much more delicious.
I'm here for it. Well, cheers, you guys.
Cheers,
Thank you so much for joining us, Fast. Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you so much, Dumi. Now join us again this Thursday from 5:30 p.m. where we are turning our attention to the outdoors this festive season alongside our musical guest. Good luck. But until then, sit a good night, stay safe and happy eating.
Let's go.
Cheers.
Friends are in town, families coming around. Here's to festive celebrations made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.